to this happy place, welcome.
Hey guys, it's Tim. I am with my beautiful wife, Adrienne.
Just not going to say anything.
Yeah, I figured. But we're back. And on time this time.
Everyone's like, what? Where? What?
They're like, where are you guys?
Those
Like, my
three
life
people.
depends on
know.
this podcast getting their Disney fix. And we let them down.
I did. I'm sorry. It was my fault.
Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't.
Sorry.
It wasn't. We had a lot of stuff going on. It's like stuff with the house and then just other stuff. You know, all that stuff. So much stuff. Mm-hmm. But you know where I want to go?
Disneyland.
Santa Fe.
I just watched Newsies.
Yeah, you did.
So if you've seen Newsies, then
With Batman.
he was,
Batman's in Newsies.
but technically Jack Sullivan, aka Cowboy. No, I'm sorry. Rewind. Francis Sullivan, aka Cowboy, aka Jack, is in Batman.
Yeah, I guess so. You could put it that way too.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's Christian Bale, who is in the new Thor. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Really?
And in this one, yeah, he's very unrecognizable.
Oh, well, that's
So
no
he's
fun
very
then.
scrawny looking. So, we all know you don't watch Thor for Christian Bale. You go to Thor to watch.
I would watch Thor for Christian Bale
Chris
as well
Hemsworth.
as Chris Hemsworth, though.
That's true.
But, you know.
Yeah. But anyways, we're getting off topic here. But it's all connected. It's all, you know, Disney owns Marvel, and, you know, Marvel is part of Disney. And
Yeah, I'm sure
we
we
talk
won't.
about Disney.
I'm
so.
sure we won't see that until we can see it at home.
Yeah, kids kind of put a wrinkle in that. So
Yeah,
makes it difficult to get out of the house.
it does.
So, but where we will do our utmost to get out of the house for Disneyland.
Because we take them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because we can take them.
If we didn't take them, it would be a lot harder, like it was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Especially, you
That
know,
was hard.
which I mean, we took Georgia with us, but if I can't leave her. But coordinating four is
It's tough.
a little more tough.
It's a
yeah.
circus.
Well, and she's just still so little, so it's not like, you know, the boys, if we ask someone to watch them, they're pretty easy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they take care of themselves for the most part.
So, but anyways,
Yeah.
we will take all of them to Disneyland
And we
in a
are.
few months,
Yeah.
or in a month,
We're going in August.
and a little over a month, and that is in the summertime.
It is. It's hot.
It is hot. So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about some tips for going to Disneyland in the summer to help you get through the day, because it is hot. Mm-hmm. A lot of people go in the summer because, you know, breaks from school and whatnot. And yeah, so I came up with 5 tips.
5 hot tips for a hot summer.
They're
at
really
Disneyland.
not hot tips necessarily. Like, none of this is revolutionary. But
it-
if you've never been at all,
Yeah.
or you've never been in the summer, like, just things you might not have thought about, that can help with your day. I know, you know, some of them that we hadn't thought about. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's not going to be like, that's
Never
gonna
thought of that
change,
before.
gonna
It's a game
change my
changer.
life. But I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. I'll do that. That's
But these 5 tips will make your summer trip go a little bit smoother,
Hopefully.
more enjoyable.
Hopefully.
Because no one likes a hot, sweaty mess of a Disney trip.
Finish the sentence. Anyways. Okay.
So number one. What's number
one? So I don't think we got this until this. So it would have been like the summer of 2019, I think. So we had been several summers, several trips in the summer in very hot weather before we actually got one of these. And it was only because Boston at the time was obsessed with fans.
Yeah.
It was his favorite thing. Mm-hmm. So we bought one of those water fans.
Yeah. So they look like a squirt bottle, but they have the fan on it.
And it's worth it.
That was a game changer.
Maybe
not a game changer.
Really?
But
Wow.
It was very
But it wasn't
nice.
like, this was a total waste of money. Like, no, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to have. So even if you don't want to spend the money on a Disney one, like I'm sure you can find them on Amazon or something. But I would say
a quarter of the price.
I'd say it's worth bringing. Like, I remember we were standing in Small World line and we were all just passing it between us and you know, because it helps. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you don't buy one before, I'd say even at Disneyland, it's worth the money during the summer. But if you want to probably get one for cheaper, you could probably get a couple for your whole family on Amazon and take them with you, because I think it'll help. I think it's worth it. Ours broke. Boston lost the little cap where the battery goes. Yeah. So we'll have to get something. We'll have to get another one.
And I think also the fan part, because he would play with it. He would turn it on and put his fingers in and do it.
To him, he was like two or three at the time when we got it. And it was like his souvenir. And because he loved fans and
fans and vacuums.
So so it didn't last, but yeah. So the next tip, now this one kind of, I'll go into some other tips in the next one if this doesn't work for you, because this isn't going to work for everybody. But if you are staying I'm not even going to say within walking distance, because most people do stay within walking distance, but if it's like 15 minutes or longer, but if you're staying right across the street or you're staying at a Disneyland resort, I'd say try to avoid being in the park during the hottest part of the day. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people do that. And so it's hot and crowded and lines feel longer.
Yep.
So if, you get there when the park opens, and then around the hottest part of the day, you go back to your hotel, take a pool break or just a nap in your room, and then go back in the late afternoon, evening, and then you can be there till park close in the evening when it's not so hot. I think that helps a lot. We've done that, and it gives you a little rest, and you avoid those hot hours where it seems like everyone in the park is cranky.
Yeah.
And trying to find like somewhere to go where it's cooler, and it can just get it can wear on you.
Yeah, it's also like the busiest part of the day too.
It's it always feels like it.
A little after lunch, that time between noon and 4:00. Mm-hmm. It's always really busy. People are coming in, whether they slept in or they're staying on property and they decided to just come in for the afternoon. And so that way you just kind of bypass all that and just go back, go to the pool, take a nap, whatever you want to do, and just because no one wants to be cranky at Disneyland.
Or even, this isn't necessarily going to be cooler, but just to like avoid some much of the crowds. Maybe do some like shopping in downtown Disney even.
Go to Black Tap, get a milkshake.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good right now.
Salt and straw.
Which one did I do?
I
did Black Tap.
You did Black Tap.
Last year. Got this like, I'll have to post a picture of it. This like crazy shake, like crazy cake shake. And like, I didn't realize what I was ordering and I was alone. And I just had Georgia in the carrier. You took the boys back to the room and I was just going to walk around downtown Disney for a bit. And she was asleep and it was like it's humongous. Like with a full piece of cake and like, it was good. It was good. But I want to try salt and straw. Anyways. But yeah, just, maybe thinking outside the box a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the third tip is if you can't. Things to do if you can't. If you're not staying in one of the Disneyland resorts and the pool isn't that great, or you're staying a little farther away and you don't, have that option of going back to your room, or you do, but it would be an inconvenience. So, some things to think about doing during the hottest part of the day. Taking in a show. There's not like a whole lot of shows, but like in California, there's Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Yep.
Which I didn't realize was there. We did it in Disney World and I loved it. And then you were like, this isn't California Adventure. I didn't realize that. Also, the animation building in California Adventure is great. It does get busy because people are going in there because it's cool. You can sit in the, that area and just listen to the songs and watch all the clips. But doing the animation is really fun. And you could, they have a list of all of the characters and the times they're going to be drawing them. And you could do,
do a handful
several in a row, you're just trying to stay out of the heat and it's super fun. I love doing those. Turtle Talk is in there. So that's another show. Disneyland, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, the Beast Library.
Yeah.
To do that.
I'm trying to think of shows in Disneyland.
Well, they had
to look at
the, going back to the animation building, just a tip or just a FYI, I guess. Well, not really a tip, but anyways, you can't take food or drink in there. You used to be.
Or strollers. Which stinks because if your baby's asleep, that stinks.
So just be aware of that. They didn't used to be like that, but then they started putting crack down on that. But shows in Disneyland, there was Mickey's Magical Map over by theater.
It's outdoor though.
Yeah.
But still it's like shaded. It's like a huge overhang thing.
I don't think they've had anything come back since COVID though.
Yeah, I'm looking and I'm like, there's like on Main Street, it's not a show, but there's like the like the Disney Gallery, the Disneyland Story presenting Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, just some indoor things that aren't going to have long waits. Right now, Buzz is only 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Fireworks are about to start.
Now, were you going to talk about certain rides?
Yes.
Or is that a different tip?
Getting there.
You're just getting there. Okay.
No, this is the same tip. So these are
tip? Oh, okay.
In the hottest part of the day. Some great rides to do.
Yep.
Pirates. It's cool inside. It's a longer ride.
Yeah.
Same with Small World. Now the line for Small World can get warm.
Yeah.
It's better now. It used to be all in the sun. Now, like the last little bit is in the sun, but they made the queue different. So you're in the shade for most of it, but it's still hot. But the ride is nice and cool and it's long. And so, that helps. Yep. Also Ariel in California.
Yeah.
Like that line, typically you're moving the whole time. It's not as long as Small World or Pirates. I don't think it's not as long, but it's nice and cool.
It's covered. The line is covered.
You're covered and you're not in the sun and it's nice and cool in there. Obviously.
Going back to Small World. If they listen to our tip with the fan, then the line in Small World isn't so bad because you got your fan. You got your fan. You're cooling down, and you can go in line for Small World, and then you can fall asleep like I do on the ride.
Yeah, you do a lot. You actually don't you don't all the time. The picture I posted the other day in stories, it was we had
the
left.
last few times though we've gone, I've been very sleepy.
Yeah, that day though, I remember it was one of the days that we left home at like 4 a.m. to get down there, and so we were tired. But obviously, like Splash Mountain in Disneyland, and then Grizzly River Run in California, water rides are going to be nice ones to do during the hottest part of the day, but also the line is going to be long.
They're also the most popular during those times.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to, you got your fan.
That's true.
Then you're already cooling down. But like, just know that like noon to 5, hottest parts of the day, those lines are usually the longest. You'll look on the map and you'll be like, oh, Space Mountain's only 30 minutes. Oh, Splash Mountain 75. Like it's hot today. So if you don't mind waiting, or if you get Genie Plus and try to like anticipate and try to like watch the return time and get your lightning lane for, that time period between the hottest parts of the day, you could do that. Or single rider too, if you don't care about riding with your party and you guys are all just hot and miserable, you're like, hey, let's just do single rider so we can get on this ride. That's an option. Or like anticipate if it's like around lunchtime and you see that like Grizzly River Run is like 30 or 40 minutes, I'd go because most likely after lunch, it's just going to go up and stay up, I was also thinking, something to think about if you were wanting to do like a nicer dining, like, Blue Bayou or something like that. Or in, California, like Lamplight Lounge or something. Like maybe think about doing either an early dinner or a later lunch during the hottest part of the day, because that's just a break from being in the sun.
Yeah.
It's indoor. It's nice and cool, and it's like a longer lunch. You're not doing a quick service where you're just like sitting outside and just eating and moving on. If you're wanting to do like a nicer meal, maybe think about adjusting, your typical time and maybe trying for, that.
Yeah. And, it's something that we thought about, we were talking about this earlier. When we went to Disney World, they had a splash pad. They had the Casey Jr. I know parents don't like taking their kids to splash pads. They are a pain.
I think there's another one. They're in like the Dumbo Circus. I just saw a story recently.
At
Someone's
Disney
story.
World?
Yeah, we didn't go in there.
Oh, okay.
But I think there's water. I think it's a splash pad.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
But,
Actually, I think I might be wrong. Don't listen to me. I'm mixing things up.
Okay.
But there is the one we went to, yeah.
Yeah, the Casey Jr. train with the splash and
the boys got it.
Yeah, parents, I don't like splash pads. They give me anxiety.
When they're fully dressed.
When they're fully dressed, because then I know they're going to be complaining that they're wet all day.
Right, which we went to Disney World in February, so it's not like it was hot.
Yeah, and so they wanted to play. I'm like, nah, but we let them do it anyways. But anyways, California Adventure had a good one.
I had a great one.
At Bugs Land.
I posted that was in my stories the other day too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now that's if you come prepared for it,
which I always did,
which you always did, always brought a change of clothes.
I'd bring their swimsuits.
To bring their swimsuits
because they loved it, and they'd play in there for like a good 30 minutes. They would have played in there longer if we'd let them, but we'd always plan that. We'd be like, hey, we're going to take a break here. Put their swimsuits on. And we weren't the only parents. I'd see other kids in swimsuits, and let them play for a while. And then, excuse me. And then, change their clothes so they're not miserable all day.
Yeah.
And it was a great break.
Yeah.
And
they got rid of it.
I'm like, I get, they got rid of Bugs Land, which I'm sad about. I wish they could have made room for both, that and Adventures Campus. But I'm like, I was asking you, I was like, wait, was that the only splash pad? Is there one I'm not thinking of, like in Disneyland or anything? And there's not.
I don't think so. No, I think
Not
that was the only
we
one.
know of. And Toontown had like kind of like a fountain, but not like a splash pad.
Yeah.
Maybe it will when it reopens. Maybe. Because I hope so. Because if you plan for it, especially in the summer, I think that's a great break.
Yeah.
And it's not like you totally could as an adult get wet. You often did when you would go in to get the boys out.
I did not have a choice.
But like, it's usually shaded and it's just cooler around that area because there's water splashing everywhere and kids love it. And it's just a nice break. So I hope that they bring one into the new Toontown because there's not one. And I think it's a great thing to have.
Yeah, it is.
So
it's nice, even though it's annoying, but
yeah,
they're good. They're fun.
Yeah. So just some things, if it's inconvenient to leave the park or you don't want to leave the park, just some ideas to think about, doing when it's, the hottest part of the day. Okay.
It's a great thing to do when it's super hot. Go to Clarabelle's, get some cookies and cream ice cream.
What if you're in Disneyland?
You make the trek.
Go to Gibson Girl.
Go to Gibson Girl because it's the same ice cream. But oh my gosh, so good. Oh, it's so good. I'm craving that so bad right now. You have no idea.
Oh, I do.
No, you don't have it. You have no idea how much I'm craving.
That does sound.
I know you are, but
can you get milkshakes made with that? Have I never done that?
I don't know.
I love milkshakes.
I know you do.
They're so good. Yeah, definitely get a nice cool treat. Okay. Next thing just a little tip. If you didn't know, the quick service restaurants, and especially like the little like outdoors ones will have,
Ice water.
yes, I have my brain. Yeah. So you can get ice water for free. So, I mean, even when you go to any, if you go into Pizza Planet, you can get ice water, it's free. But the ones that are like,
they're like cafeteria style. So they're like,
sorry, I heard something. Yeah. But there's this one that I'm thinking of in,
cat. Get into our cat
in Adventureland, right across from Jungle Cruise.
Oh,
and it's just like
a Bengal barbecue or something like that. Yeah.
And I just remember we were there. It was September and it was so stinking hot.
Yeah.
Like we were just sweating. But places like that, they will just have on really hot days, just cups out.
Yeah.
On their counter, just like multiple, you'll see like the cast members just filling up and they're smaller. Those ones are smaller, but they would just be filling up small cups of ice water and just setting them out and you can just walk by and take one. I mean, you should say thank you.
Yeah.
Be polite about it.
Well, I mean, you have to ask me like, can I have meltdown too? Galactic Grill is another one.
Yeah, I've seen them there. Yeah. But if they don't have them out, you can ask, like, could I get a small ice water? And they'll give it to you. But I've noticed several times over the years when on really hot days that they're just putting them out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, it's good to invest in like a good like hydro flask.
Oh yeah.
I remember the first time we went to Disneyland when we first got our
well, because we were going to Disneyland, and I got it in my mind that a hydro flask would be a really good idea, and then I was like, I have to have one before we leave for Disneyland. It was like an obsession. Then I was like, I need to go get one, and at the time, it was so weird to me to spend that money on a hydro flask, and now I would do it again in a second. I love so my hydro flask, but we were leaving in a couple of days. I was like, no, we need one before. Like we need this.
Yeah.
And it was it was a very good investment. And if you don't care if your family shares,
Oh man.
because at first I was the only one that had one. So like
Yeah.
every time we were in line, we would take it out of the stroller and bring it with us. And
Yeah.
now we'll usually just have a couple in our backpacks,
We all have
you
one.
know.
No, but but just like keeps the water cold
Yeah.
all day, and you can refill it when you go to these restaurants, get it with ice water. Now there's lots of water bottle filling stations
Yeah.
throughout the park. So they don't have ice, but hopefully you can ask cast member at the restaurants for even just ice, a cup of ice,
Yeah.
or ice water, fill it up. And then a lot of like these restaurants too, like the more the cafeteria style ones, like Pizza Planet or the Paradise Pasta and Pizza in
Oh, the Boardwalk Pasta and Pizza.
in California Adventure.
Ooh, that sounds good too.
They have the soda fountains.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, you can just take your high flask in there, get some ice, and use the water in there, and they don't care about that.
Yeah. So you can, just keep that filled up all day. And
Yeah.
I mean, we'll usually bring a couple extra like bottles of water in the stroller, but just in case we're walking and we're out of water and we don't want to go in and ask, like it's always a good idea. But definitely if you have, because as we've said in the past, you can bring in drinks and food and that. So yeah, if you have, a hydro flask type water bottle, thermo flask, which I'm reading on my
The Costco
on
those
Boston's
are the
thermo,
Costco brand.
Yeah, the thermo flask. We always bring them in, and then we'll just fill up on ice water
Yeah, I
at the
think
restaurants throughout the day.
Most people have those now. They're pretty
popular. So it's
good
definitely
for the environment. You're not,
Yeah.
single, not none of these single use bottles and stuff like that. Reusable. Go green. Woohoo.
Okay. Dork. Okay. My last tip.
Last tip. Make it a good one. I want this to blow my mind.
This isn't going to blow your mind in any way. Even when it is super hot, bring a sweater.
What? That just changed my whole outlook in life. My purpose in life has changed.
Quiet.
That is a game changer.
You're being rude.
I'm not being rude. No, but it's true. Bring a sweater.
Did you come up with anything? Do you have anything to contribute here?
No, I don't, because you're taking the lead in this and you're doing an amazing job. And
I told you what we were doing. You could have come up with something.
I know I could have.
The first time we went as a married couple, we went in August. It was very hot. We did not pack sweaters because it's hot. Who needs a sweater?
I remember we were sitting waiting for the fireworks and we were so
cold. We were
Oh my
so
gosh.
cold because when the sun goes down there, like where we live, when the sun goes down, it's still 90 degrees. You don't need a sweater, but it gets cool.
Yeah.
And
Anaheim
and
is
windy.
Anaheim is near the ocean. So when the sun goes down, the ocean breeze comes in, cools things down really quickly. So you think you're in California and it stays warm all the time. Well, it does. But you'd be surprised at the temperature difference between the daytime and the nighttime.
especially because, in summer hours, they are typically always check the hours, but open till midnight for the most part during the summer and the busier months. So you're there late. It's not like
Yeah.
you're leaving at 7 and it's still in the 80s. Like, no, you could be there if you're staying till park close. If you're waiting for the fireworks, that's 9 o'clock, I just remember we were sitting like huddled by a trash can waiting for the fireworks and like huddled together
Yeah,
trying to
that's
stay
so
warm.
cool.
I think you may have even ran to I always forget the name of it, but the Mexican restaurant
Yeah.
if you go through and got me some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was August.
Yeah.
But we were so cold.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, a
'cause
light sweater will do, but
Yeah, I mean, it gets down to, mid 60s at night.
yeah.
So, I mean, you're
and
dressing
the breeze,
during the day.
there's a breeze typically that
Yeah,
that'll get ya.
it gets, during the day, it could be in the mid 90s, but then it can drop down to, mid to low 60s. And so when you're dressed in t-shirt and shorts, I mean, for us Californians, low 60s is cold.
Right. Now, if you're coming from New York
or Minnesota or
then
those places,
you might be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you have little kids. Like it's just a good idea to have one if you're planning on being in the park late because, I mean, you could always buy one.
Yeah.
I have had to do that too. There was another time where I was there. It was warm and it was during the 50th and I was cold.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind though, because I got a 50th sweater, which I still have.
That's
It
true.
is, it has holes in it.
It's
I
very
mean,
worn out.
I wore it like for years and years. But yeah, so good idea to have a light sweater for the evening. Yeah.
Those are your tips.
Those are my tips. Not like I said, it's nothing revolutionary, but they're things that we have learned over the years. Like I said, we didn't take sweaters. For years, we didn't buy one of those fans. We're like, oh my gosh, look at those. They're ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to buy that. And then we got one and we're like, this is
amazing.
I mean, I'd see people online with them and be like, oh, that does look refreshing, but I'm not going to spend money on that. No. But now with Amazon, it would be
Everything's on
so
Amazon.
easy
Yeah.
to, I'm going to look right now. What are they even called? Water fan. I was going to try to come up with
A
another
spray
name.
fan, water fan.
Water fan. Let's see. Water fan spray bottle. All right. They're actually not that much cheaper than the Disneyland ones, I don't think. Oh, yeah. There's 10. They have some, $13, $14. Then they have like nicer ones that are like 20 something.
Well, I think Disneyland
But-
ones are at least $30. They're probably $25
Oh,
to $30.
I thought it was like $20.
It's somewhere between 20 and 30.
Yeah, probably. So you could save some money on Amazon. Here's a 2-pack for $28. Here's a 4-pack for $40.
That's a good deal.
So everyone in your family could have one
Yeah.
and put it in your backpack. Yeah, there's tons of them. Why didn't we get this for Boston? But anyway, so yeah, like I said, it's nothing like amazing, but it's just things that we've learned over the years. It's like, hey, and like taking a break, like, oh my gosh, when I was 19, 20, that sounds like I was saying a year, 19 or 20, leaving the park in the middle of the day would have been absurd.
Oh, I know.
I never would have done it. But
now,
and
one of the
especially
greatest
with
things.
kids, but yeah, like, and getting just some downtime. And then, yeah, we've taken the kids swimming and going back in the evening, going back for dinner, and then the shows, you got a little rest. You didn't get and especially in the summer, because the heat just wears you down.
it does. You
And-
get extra tired. And
Yeah.
we're older now. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. I'm not 80. Like,
Heat stroke is real, people.
but anyways, so just some things to keep in mind.
Yeah.
If you go in the summer.
Yeah. So we're going to be going in August.
Yeah.
And we're going to be staying at Paradise Pier. So we haven't stayed there in a very long time with it. What?
And the last time we stayed
Almost 10 years?
there, no. Because Noah's 9 and he's, okay.
So maybe
It's
like
probably been like 7.
7 years. Yeah. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
They do have a pretty cool pool. So
Yeah, which we never really, we used it once, but
it was kind of cold.
Noah was a baby. Jack couldn't swim, and like the slide, you couldn't go down with your kid,
Yeah.
and he couldn't swim yet, and so he couldn't go down it. And yeah, it was a day. That was the trip in September that was so stinking hot,
That's right.
and
We went a day and it was like the high was like 70 degrees that day.
yeah, then the day we're like, oh, we'll go swimming this day, and I think it even sprinkled.
Yeah.
Like it was like a totally different weather than it had been the
Yeah.
day we decided to like try to go swimming. But anyways, yeah, so we can check out the pool, and they're
Yeah.
going to have like the summer party
Yeah,
thing.
the
So I
pool
kind of
party
want
type
to. I
stuff.
kind of want to
Yeah.
check out the times for that too, because I think the boys would, they're old enough to like participate and get a kick out of that. So
Yeah.
I don't remember the pool area being very big. Like the Disneyland hotel, the pool area is huge, and then
Yeah.
Grand Californian, it's huge. Like there's cabanas and all that kind of stuff.
Paradise Pier is on, obviously
Because it's
on
on
the
it's
rooftop.
on the roof.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll tell you about it. Don't you worry.
We'll see, and we'll test out the new entrance.
Yeah.
Into California adventure. So
Yeah. So be good.
I have a question.
You have a question.
I
Lay
do,
it on
and
me.
as I thought of it, I kind of already know your answer, but I want you to give it some real thought.
Okay.
It's no fun once I realize that I know your answer, and you're just gonna be like, easy, and then say it. If you were a cast member
Okay.
on an attraction,
Okay.
what attraction would you want to work on? And I believe they change. I feel like I asked a cast member once, and they rotate every 6 months or something like that. But just to pick one, like what would your top one be?
Easy.
Shut up.
I was gonna pick something like obnoxious, like
Like the worst cube that's like really tiny Alice in Wonderland.
no. I mean, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is Rise.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That one's a little over the top. But
That's what I was thinking. Like it would be fun, but to do that for your entire shift every day
would be
it might get a
real-
little taxing, like staying in character. Like I was thinking, it's not around anymore, but like Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
Like when it first opened, cast members stayed in character. Over the
Yeah.
years, they got out of that.
They got lazy.
You'd have a nice cast member. You'd be like,
Yeah.
no, you're supposed to be mean. And it would be fun on certain days, but after a while, it would probably just get old.
I the two that come to my mind would be Guardians, which used to be Tower of Terror. I think that would be fun, playing in that universe, or Star Tours. Like when you have a cast member who plays along with Star Tours.
I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, they say like one-liners and stuff like that. And it's fun. Because it's like Star Wars, but not. I mean, it is Star Wars, but it's not Rise of the Resistance where they're like in universe.
Yeah.
But they're like having fun with it. Star Tours would be fun. Guardians would be fun. You can't really do anything with Indiana Jones.
I mean, you could be in character for anything.
Well, you could. Not Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise is not my cup of tea.
You saying you don't like Jungle Cruise?
No, I like Jungle Cruise, but I couldn't do that.
I think I could do Jungle.
Yeah. I was like looking back at when we went when Jack was a baby, and we went on Jungle Cruise. I was watching a video. It's always funny when the
Skipper?
skipper
Is it a skipper?
Does a reference of your hometown, and he didn't know that we were from the same place. Like,
I thought he was talking to, or was someone else on the boat that's from the same?
Well, I mean, he said he mentioned the town that we live in, the city that we live in, but we never said that we lived there.
Oh, okay, I don't quite
And
remember.
so when he made a joke about our city, I don't know, it was just really funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, they like have a script now. They don't really deviate from.
They do a bit. Usually at the end.
Yeah.
When you're waiting to get back on the dock, they'll kind of pick a few people out. I don't know. I think I could do it.
Yeah. But yeah. So, anyways, Star Tours or Guardians would be mine. What about you?
See, it's hard because I think like, okay, it's not just my favorite rides because I always feel bad for the cast members on Small World because it's hot.
Yeah.
Splash Mountain is just kind of like small in there.
You don't really interact with anybody on Small World.
No, you just get them on the boat.
Or Small World. Did you say Small World or Splash Mountain?
I said both.
Oh, okay.
Like Pirates, I don't know if I would want to be, because I'm thinking, okay, I want to be out of the heat. Mm-hmm. But it's dark.
Yeah.
You know, do I want to be in the dark all day? I'm going to take a break, but like, you know.
Yeah.
Peter Pan, it's really pretty right there. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of tight.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not. It's kind of a weird one, but for California, I think I might do like Ariel.
Okay.
It's like bright in there. It's cool in there. You know, you're not in character or anything. I also think about the wardrobe and the pants and shorts they make these women cast members wear. It's just, it's not flattering on anybody. I'm like, why?
Matterhorn. They have probably the worst uniform.
I don't know. There's some Small World's not great.
No,
Small World's not great. I might want to be a skipper on Jungle Cruise. And I might get tired of saying the same thing over and over all day.
Backside of water.
Yeah.
I would like a skipper to not do the backside of water joke. And see what would happen.
Well, nothing would happen.
Well,
The
there
boat would flip over.
Well, there would probably be like a revolt or something. Like, you didn't do the joke. What about Pippity Boppity Boutique?
That's not an attraction.
I know.
I thought about this.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I'd want to do that. And then just like do little girls' makeup all day and sprinkle them with pixie dust.
Yeah.
Like I would totally do that. But it's not an attraction.
That's true.
It's not a ride because I also thought like, what job would you do? I would sing.
No, of course.
Or do makeup for the characters.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Or I'd be a character. I probably could only be like Alice because I'm short. And now, yes, I'm too old to do any of it. I'd be like Geppetto or something. They'd put a big old head on me.
I would like to do the Jedi training if they still had it. That'd be fun.
Okay, but this isn't my question. My question
I
was
know.
a
And
ride.
I answered it.
I know. I didn't really answer it. I think I'd have fun with Jungle Cruise and not just being the person that got you on the boat. I mean, I'd want to be the skipper.
No, I take it back. Does this include Disney World as too, or are we talking Disneyland?
I mean, we're talking Disneyland. This isn't a Disney World podcast,
Well,
but go ahead.
Navi River Journey. That's my all-time.
I don't even remember the line. We had a lightning lane for that. I don't even remember.
No, I don't remember either.
But it's like, yeah, there's ones where you just like don't interact and you're just getting on the ride. Where like Jungle Cruise, you interact.
Living with the Land.
I don't remember any. I don't even remember seeing a cast member on that. We walked right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then for like if we're gonna pick each park, I don't know why, but Ariel stands out to me because it's always nice and cool in there and it's bright. Because lighting, if you know, it's like if I was in the dark all day,
Yeah, that would weigh on you.
it would weigh on me. So racers, hot. I always feel bad for them too.
Yeah.
Grizzly River Run, it's like you're on that spinning podium all day.
Yeah. It's like you're on a treadmill. You're just having to walk.
And even though there's water right there,
Yeah.
you're probably pretty hot. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Kind of random,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm going with.
All right. Well, we hope these tips help you out on your next summer trip. hopefully it makes things just a little bit smoother to where you don't have any meltdowns during the day, literally and mentally. Meltdowns because it's hot.
Literally?
Literally.
I hope you don't melt.
Maybe you have a Mickey ice cream bar and it's melting.
You got to eat it quick.
You got to eat it quick.
Actually,
hopefully
you
that doesn't
don't,
happen.
though. You have to wait. Even in the hottest months, you got to wait.
those
Those things are frozen.
Those are like rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time I was like, oh, it's a hot day today. I bit into it. I was like, nope. That thing was still frozen. But I eventually let it go and I went into the unknown. So
nice. I like it. I mean, the second part didn't make sense, really.
No, it didn't.
But you didn't hesitate.
No.
You just, that was nice.
So I thought you'd appreciate that.
I do appreciate it. Let us know if you use any of these tips or what you like to do to beat the heat in Disneyland.
Yeah, what's your hot tip? Summer hot tip.
Yeah, let us know before we go.
Where can they find us?
On Instagram, I guess, and Facebook.
Yeah, but everything, it's all the same.
Yeah. At dreaming.of.disney.podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I say that right. Sometimes I really honestly forget.
I think you're right. Dreaming.of.podcast.
I mean, what's that?
Not dreaming of podcast.
Dreaming of podcasts.
Dreaming of Disney podcast.
I mean, really,
it's podcast.
Now you're just being confusing. It's really just the name of our podcast with periods after each word.
That's true. That's what it is.
So,
also, if you like what you hear, let us know. Leave a review.
Yeah.
Make it good.
It'd help us out.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
You leave us a review, 5 stars or 4 stars.
No, 5 stars only.
Or 1 star.
If you have nothing.
If it's 1 star, then just don't listen. Like, you don't have to.
But we appreciate all those that do. Mm-hmm. So thank you for listening. We appreciate it. And we hope you have the most wonderful day.
Yes.
When you go to Disneyland next.
Yeah.
So, all right. We will end it here. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.